Wonderful, wonderful. I hope I'll be getting Cory online in a moment. That's it. Wow, brilliant.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Brother John.
Hi, Cory. Welcome to One Talk Radio podcast, Cory. And it's my pleasure to have you tonight. I hope, and I know it's morning, but it's night from this side, and most of the parts that my fans are in. And I just like to welcome you to this.
Mr. Motivator, my brother, I need to stop you for one moment. Is that okay?
You can go ahead. You can stop me and
John,
say it.
John Gore, I want you to know something, my brother. You have fans around the entire world. You have fans from whom it is probably still Monday. You have fans for whom it's probably Wednesday. You might have fans in outer space, my brother. You are global. And so I think most of the people maybe you know are still geographically closer to you, but that's changing by the day. And for those that are watching this that don't know this yet, John Gore is my brother from another mother, and I love this man, and I love this man's heart and content, and I'm a huge fan of this show. And so, yeah, no, I understand. It's your evening, it's my morning, but I live in your world, so it might be 11 a.m. here in Chicago, but I'm in your evening.
Wow. That's great, Cory, and that gives us a hearty clap, Cory. It is the first time that I'm hosting this on my studio, Cory, because I've always been doing that, the podcast and hosting outside this. And I did this because this was something that was started by you. You are the initiator of this podcast. And I remember the first time we had a call on WhatsApp, and you're like, do you have a podcast, or do you know about the podcast? And you know how we shared and how you came up with that suggestion and telling us how it can be done and how good it can help people outside. And definitely it has helped a lot of people. A lot of people have reached out to us, have reached out to me, how it's helping and how those kind of hosting we are doing here is helping them. So I just want to introduce you to our listeners, those who might not know who Cory is. Cory is a philanthropist who enjoys helping people, who enjoys engaging with people and seeing others grow. Since I knew Cory, there's no single day I've seen you coming on LinkedIn and sharing a post that only defines who you are. Every time that you come on with a post that is defining you as well as bringing people together. So I just want to welcome you, Cory, and the best way possible, you can give us the definition about you. Who is Cory, and why is Cory here, and what is Cory doing, and how did Cory get himself in on one Talk podcast?
So I think, to kind of backtrack a little bit, Cory's a 20-year hospitality industry veteran who was homeless before I started that journey 20 years ago. I was on the streets for a year and a half. And so to have these different perspectives and to have seen rock bottom and to know what it's like to not eat a meal for days in a row and, to have people look at you and judge you poorly, it's a frame of reference, right? And when you have that capacity to decide that you want something better for yourself, or you don't want your temporary conditions, whatever they might be, to define who you are in the future, is really valuable. And we just had our second and third buyout offer for ShedWool. They're all in the multiple millions. We're on track to do many millions in revenue next year. And I'm not a money guy. I like any money I can bring in, I like to give out to help people. But the reality is that if a homeless man can start a company that now has 20 employees with some huge deal flow in the pipeline, then it is realistic. It is doable. It is achievable. It's not an impossibility. And so I do stand here in front of you in the world to tell everybody that if you have an idea, or if you see something that could be improved upon, or if your life isn't anywhere near where you like it, that doesn't have to be a permanent life sentence. And so what I did decide, through my 20 years of working in restaurants, is that I love to serve people, I love to see people smile, and I love to be part of something bigger than myself. So 4 years ago when I started ShedWool, I knew I would need a team, I knew I would need visibility, I knew I would need to position myself as a thought leader. So I played with the different social media platforms. I played with LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. And, I had fun on all of them. I was able to build a following on all of them. But the one place where people seemed to really resonate with what we were doing with our app, with ShedWool, was on LinkedIn. So I found people in the workforce management space, people in the artificial intelligence space, people that were in leadership and ownership of concepts that could really benefit from the software that we've created. And I just started to network with them and add value. And just like I said in the hospitality industry, try to make them smile, try to make them feel valued. Try to listen to them. And it's really served me well in my primary business being ShedWool, and then in a number of my other companies as well.
Wow, that's exactly why it is important to have you on this podcast, Cory, because I know life defines and life helps people to get inspired and to help people a lot to understand why people need to get that one step forward. Because a lot of us are home today with a lot of vision and a lot of ideas, but just starting up, waking up in the morning and saying that I'm going to put this idea into practice has been the difficult part of life. And whoever is listening now, Cory is sitting there as the CEO of ShedWool.com and one of the top influencers on LinkedIn who's having a very huge following, and also one of the best guys that you can ever meet. Very humble, very welcoming, very loving, and always there to help you grow. You can never, hit a button and text Cory and he failed to respond. Sometimes, I even send him a message very late in the night, but he will always respond to it and he will tell me, my brother, I'm just getting to my room now to have a sleep, but I'll just respond to your message before I go. And he has to write it and respond back to me. And it has helped me also to understand how good it is to help people around. So, Cory, I just wanted to know, why do you help people? Just a very simple question, just like that. Why do you help people?
So I'll tell you, there's two reasons that I love to help people. The first is that I absolutely love people, and I love people that are fat and skinny and old and young. I love people that are black and white and yellow. I just love people. I love people that might, get overlooked. I don't need someone to be a good person for me to love them. I believe that God loves us all, and I try to love everyone because God loves us all. But the second reason that I help people, and it's very important, is that people helped me when I needed it. And there were times in my life where I needed help that I was too, maybe prideful or maybe too embarrassed to ask for help. Thank God people still came to my rescue and people still helped me when I needed it. And when I was on the streets and when I was doing things, in my life that needed to change, people would come out of the woodworks. And sometimes they would be strangers. Sometimes they would be people from, a church congregation or from a community. Or from my own family, right? But people have always been there to help me when I needed it. And even with my company, we've got some amazing opportunities that we're closing on right now, but none of them are only because of me, right? I've got team and I've got partners, and some of these are people that I barely know, John. There are people that I barely know. I mean, I might not even know them at all, that reach out to me on LinkedIn and say, "Oh, Cory, I need to introduce you to the chief finance officer of this franchise. They need ShedWool." I mean, people are coming out of the woodworks, and so I don't help people for anything in return. One of my favorite quotes right now, I'll give the first half and then I'll finish it, but is to give without expectation. I think that it's so important that we give because we want to, and because we can, and because it's the right thing to do, and because we want to be part of a collective consciousness of success and happiness and love and prosperity. But the other part of that quote, and I love this, is to receive without resisting. And I think so many people are really apprehensive to let people do nice things to them. And, as much as I love to help people, if I wasn't also letting people help me right now at this stage in my life, we wouldn't have the opportunities that we've been afforded. And so I love to help people because I've been helped. I love to help people because I love people. And I love to help people because it's the right vibration for me. I want to. At the end of the day, I don't help people because I have to. I help people because I want to.
Yeah, wow, that's a brilliant one, Cory. You help people because you want to. That is the next point that we are going into, Cory. And I would just like to find out, what are the benefits of giving and what are the benefits of helping others? Because sometimes, a lot of conversation has been there that you have to help yourself first before you help others. And when can we tell ourselves, or when can we detect that it's now time to help others? We are now in a position that we can help others. Or what is the best position to help others, Cory?
So the best time to help others, and this goes for everyone that's watching this, both right now and in the future, the very best time to help others is right now, this moment. The second best time to help others is one moment ago, and the third best is a moment from now. Everyone needs to be helping people, and here's why. It will make you feel better. Everyone needs to feel better. Go help somebody, you're going to feel better, I promise you. Even if you feel amazing and you go help somebody, you're going to feel even better. And even if you feel amazing and you go help somebody, you're going to feel even better. And even if you just help somebody and you go help somebody else, you'll feel that much better. It's just good vibes. It's the right energy. The law of attraction is backed by the law of reciprocity. So if you are helping more and more people, and if you're putting more and more helpfulness out into the world, you will receive more help, more assistance, more guidance, more blessings. And so there's never a bad time. And so many people maybe watching this think that they don't have the resources or the capacity or maybe candidly the intelligence or the bandwidth to help people, and it's not true. I can tell you there are some ways that you can help people. Here's one of them: listening. That's it. Listening to people is helpful. Here's another one: smiling. Smiling at people, a stranger on the street, someone looks mad or upset, or you give them a smile, that's a big help. Here's another way that you can help people: throw a like on social media. Whoever's watching this right now, throw a like on this. That's helping. You just helped me and John. Literally. How else can you help people? By caring. People don't even need to know that you're helping them. You can help people without them ever knowing. I hear and see people that I don't even know, and their kids are in the hospital or something. I'll say a prayer to God. That's helping. By all means, that's helping. They'll never know. They don't need to know who Cory Warfield is. I don't need the credit for it. In the Bible, when Jesus commits these blessings and miracles, he tells people don't even tell them who did it. He doesn't need, it's sometimes I laugh at some of these churches that everyone's praising, this name or that name and screaming it at the top and said, come on, guys. If you read the scriptures or the Quran or any of these different holy books, the prophets never needed to be recognized or to be edified or to be praised. Jesus never helped anybody because he wanted something in return. And so the word Christian, the definition of Christian means to try to be like Christ or to try to be like a Christ. There are some that believe that Jesus or Isis, first of all, had darker skin than me. That's a fact. Second of all, came from the exact region that John Gore lives in right now and is from. That's a fact. But also he would do these things for people because he wanted to and because he could and because he felt compelled, not because he needed anything, and certainly not for any recognition. So that's kind of my frame of reference and my perspective as well.
Wow, that's a brilliant one, Cory. That's absolutely brilliant. And I love how it's coming, Cory. And there's something that I really wanted to ask you, and you've touched a little of it when you are discussing when and why should you be helping people. What is the power and story behind the smile on your face, Cory?
So to be honest, part of the smile, and this isn't what you're expecting, part of the smile on my face is because I don't like my teeth right now. I got the big gap I never had, this tooth is sticking out, and so if I don't smile, people might see my teeth, but if I smile, big smile, you're not going to see my teeth. And it's good I'm now getting my teeth fixed, so thank God. No, but really the smile is the same thing that like I mentioned. Smiles are contagious. A smile begets a smile. If I smile at someone that's not smiling, there's a good chance they're going to start smiling as well. And there's chemicals that are released in your body when you smile. It releases dopamine. It releases certain chemical that make you more powerful. And so the power of a smile, and here's the other thing some people know but some people don't, it takes more muscles in your face to frown than to smile. So if anything, maybe I'm being lazy.
That's powerful, and I really love how you're putting that, Cory. I've always remained, and I'm always proud about this, and I always tell it with power, that the only beauty that a man has across his face is a smile. When you keep on smiling every time, even when things are hard, you get yourself getting more young. You don't grow old. Every time when you wake up in the morning, you wake up with a smile, because there's no one who's enjoying life anyway, but everyone is enjoying it if you want to. Because if we start looking at problems and taking problems to overtake the smile that we can put in our faces, then we will have to frown from 1st up to 30th or end months, because I have never woken up and just found everything flat like everything is good, everything is smooth. We have to work hard. We have to accept that there are some difficulties, but these difficulties, we can get out of them when we smile. Sometimes, you smile at the problems, you smile at the difficult moments, you smile at, when people are mourning. Sometimes you come with a smile. I've seen a lot of, burial meetings and send off of those friends that we love before. When people get jovial and laugh, it doesn't mean that they are not mourning. They are mourning, but when they laugh, you see a change in mood. So the smiling power of a face, just as Cory has said, is what gives you that meaning of, getting yourself always there for people and always there to do a new thing in life. So getting to something else, Cory, and that is corporate business level, I would like to know why ShedWool.com and not any other thing, Cory.
So if anyone doesn't understand what we do at ShedWool, we're a scheduling company. So we help companies schedule their employees. We help employees schedule their lives. Everything in people's lives is scheduled and attached to a calendar. And so we're a scheduling company. Now, if anyone doesn't understand the name ShedWool, this is all you have to do. Say this out loud, everyone, with me. Say, check your ShedWool.
Check your ShedWool.
Check your ShedWool. It's a play on the word schedule. It's a play on the word and the spelling of it. And it's kind of just showing that we take scheduling very seriously, but we do it a little bit differently than anyone else. And so the W in our logo is a check mark, and it's actually the check mark twice because sometimes you need to check your ShedWool twice. But we found that it's just a different approach to using software and apps to kind of manage life and businesses. And we have artificial intelligence available through ShedWool that can make businesses up to 10% more profitable, both to the top and bottom line. And we increase EBITDA by 10%. We increase top line revenue, bottom line revenue by 10%. And that's beautiful. We love to be able to help companies be profitable. It's why they're in business. But the same artificial intelligence and different algorithms that we have available through ShedWool can not only make employers more money, but it can make the employees more money. And it can make the workers' lives better. And at the end of the day, and I say this with respect, I'm in this not only to help the business owners. They are already doing a lot right, and they already have some opportunities afforded to them. I'm doing this for the shift worker, and I'm doing this for the people, and I'm doing this to make people's lives better. And thank God we have hundreds and thousands of users on our platform, and we hear success stories all the time. They're so grateful that we're doing this, and so it's been an absolute delight. And I'm involved in so many different companies now, from virtual reality. I'm really bullish on the AI. I'm involved in some blockchain companies, some lifestyle companies, some physical goods. I've never caught a fish in my life, and one of the companies I'm involved with is a fishing company. I don't need to be an expert at everything in order to get involved, but what I've figured out is great ways to monetize, great ways to tweak business models, great ways to improve value proposition from a company and a corporate standpoint. And what I'm finally getting good at, and it's very bizarre, but is selling. I found with selling, what you really need to do is you need to understand who feels the problem, how to articulate your solution as the solution, and then, just like we talk about, how to show them that you care. Because no one cares about your solution, even if they have a problem, unless they know that you care about them and fixing it. So, I think that's why. And it's because I spent 20 years in an industry, being restaurants, where the mismanagement and the misscheduling of the employees in that industry really affect everyone's lives adversely. And so we found a way to fix it. And they're now telling me, John, it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, but they're telling me that if we keep going at the rate and the pace, and if we keep doing what we're doing, we may be a publicly traded company in 2021. They're telling me to anticipate $1 billion valuation in the next 18 months. And again, I'll give it all away to help make the world a better place. I don't ever need $1 billion in the bank. I think that's a misappropriation of wealth. However, again, to go back, if people weren't listening at the beginning, I was sleeping in parks and parking garages and abandoned buildings 20 years ago. And so to even have people thinking that I might have built $1 billion company, and having the headcount to justify some of the growth that we have in our pipeline is really humbling. It's really just exciting, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be part of what I'm part of, and to be playing the role that I'm fulfilling.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible, Cory. And I would just like to understand, in terms of corporate business levels, how do you collaborate, and what is the importance of collaboration, Cory? And this is a message that I need those who are watching today to listen, as how Cory is going to analyze why collaboration is very important. You know, we are in a world where people get into business just because others are doing it. You see someone succeeding in business, you see today, you go home, or maybe you go somewhere and you get someone has opened a shop and is maybe selling electronics, and the next day you also want to open a shop same like the one the other guy has. So people don't get it that competition is in its best way when people are collaborating, and especially when you have doing same thing and you get together. You know, the thing is, when somebody misses an item from your shop, most definitely the second person referral that you have is the next guy that you collaborate with. So what is the importance of collaboration, Cory, and how do you collaborate with other corporate business platforms?
Yep. So I don't want to use any specific names. Some of the things are still, there's some paperwork that's out and some things getting signed, but I'll put it this way. We're partnered with some of the larger companies in the world in our spaces. So we're talking payroll companies, we're talking point of sale companies, we're talking software marketplaces, and they're walking us directly into some of the meetings with some of the global leaders with tens of thousands of locations that we can help schedule. A lot of these accounts for us represent double-digit $1 million a year accounts, so they're huge. But we wouldn't have gotten any of them, John, not a single one of those opportunities, if we weren't collaborating with a partner that they were already working with. So, when we partner with the payroll companies, we have access to their book of business. When we collaborate with the point of sale companies, likewise, they're incentivized to help their clientele actually be more productive and more profitable by using our solution. And so I've collaborated with a sales incubator to help us with some of our larger deal flows. I've collaborated with contract salespeople to help with some of the sales cycle. It's all been collaboration. And what I can tell, I often tell people, you've never heard of a company with a solopreneur as the executive. We all hear about companies that have a team. Similarly, we've never heard of a company that hasn't collaborated with people. The people that are afraid to collaborate, you'll never hear of them because they'll never be successful. And to go back to your example, the person opens an electronics shop. They might say, this is my electronics shop, I'm not collaborating with anybody, but guess who they are collaborating with for sure? The electronics companies. They're collaborating with Samsung. They're collaborating with Apple. They're collaborating with Sony. They have to. They're buying those goods for a price and selling them for more. When they need to return something, or when they have a question about how to use something, they're going straight to that collaborative partner. So I think sometimes people just need to reassess what they think of when they think of collaboration. And you mentioned something else about competition. We love our competition. I just had a close competitor of ours raise $82 million the other day for a Series A round. $82 million, hundreds of $1 million valuation. I was the first person on Twitter and LinkedIn to congratulate them. I love it. I hope that they change the world and make it a better place. I don't need them to go out of business. There's enough business on the planet for all of us. And so I think that's the other mentality. If there are two people with electronic shops and one of them is talking bad on the other one's talking good on the other one, the community's going to love one and not the other, and they're all going to go shop with one and not the other, and I don't even need to tell you or your listeners which one it is. Everyone wants the person that's speaking well about everyone and that's putting good vibes out there. So, that's kind of the way that I approach business.
Wow. That's a great one, Cory. That's a great one. Thank you so much for that share, Cory, that you've given unto us. And whoever is watching this, you've had collaboration is a must. There's nothing that gets to its best place without collaboration. In anything, even when you go back to education, you have to collaborate for you to make sure that you get the best grades that are required of you. So getting back to ShedWool, I would really like to know, how can somebody get into having that capacity to use ShedWool.com app, and where do we get them? How efficient is it to access ShedWool, Cory? Maybe perhaps somebody who would like to be part of it and collaborate with you, how can they get to use this app in wherever they are seated?
Absolutely. So if you're on a computer and you go to YouTube, Just type in ShedWool on YouTube. You'll see a 10-minute tutorial on what we do and how easy it is to get set up. In only 10 minutes, we show you quite literally how to go from not even having an account to having a schedule created with departments, positions, and workers. Industries that we're in right now are manufacturing, healthcare, law enforcement, fire prevention, athletics, hospitality, being casinos, hotels, restaurants, and experiential. So anyone that manages workers or is a worker in any of those industries can benefit from using our software. Now, anyone that wants to check us out, our website, as you've mentioned, is shedwool.com, ShedWool.com. And so you go on the website, you can see what we're doing. Right from there, you can get set up for free. We offer a 14-day free trial. Our price point here in the U.S. is incredibly reasonable. It's $39 a month per location. You can have hundreds of employees, and we're $39 a month. We are raising that price for next year, but I'm going to honor 2019 pricing for anyone that quotes it or that reaches out to me personally for the next foreseeable future. So $39 a month, and you're using us for scheduling, for time and attendance, for communication, and things of that nature. Now, we are also on both app stores. If you type in scheduling on either app store, the Google Play or the Apple App Store, we should come up. I think Android may come up a little quicker if you just type in scheduling. But if you type in shift scheduling or employee scheduling, we come up sooner. But that's just if you're wanting to see what our App Store optimization is, because really the way to find us on either App Store is to just type in ShedWool. So if you go to Google Play or you type in ShedWool, you go to the App Store, type in ShedWool, we'll pop right up. You can download us. The app is free to download. If you're part of a company that uses us paying the $39 a month, that's, you don't pay anything as an employee. That's something that a lot of our competitors do, charge other people to use it, and we don't think that's good business. So, we're completely free for the employees. And if there's a company that's a nonprofit or that's a smaller company or somewhere in the world where $39, pardon me, is a lot of money, reach out to my team, tell them that you're a friend of Cory's, and we'll do whatever we have to do to make sure. I have nonprofits and some companies in different parts of the world that I give a free solution to because, frankly, it's the right thing to do, and thank God we're in a position that we can.
That's awesome, Cory. Thank you so much for sharing that important information with us. So the last thing that I wanted us to handle, and we cannot run away from this, you are one of the top 100 influencers on LinkedIn, and having you in such kind of a show, I think it is the best moment for you to discuss with us or just share with us a little bit of how important LinkedIn is, especially to a job seeker who's outside there looking for a job, and as well as those who are in corporate business. How important has LinkedIn helped you? I remember the first time that I started being active on LinkedIn, and you held up my hand and you showed me how it is done, and that with that month alone, I got more than 3,000 followers, and you understand that means how important and how great you are on LinkedIn. So without discussing this, we will be doing injustice to some other people. So right away, I would just like you to introduce us to LinkedIn and help us understand how important is it to a job seeker, how important is it to a business.
So I think it's the utmost importance. I think that if people are, ever going to look for a job, the time to get active on LinkedIn is right away. Don't wait until you're looking for a job. So even if you have a great job, start getting active. So at some point in your life, anybody watching this will probably need another job. If you've been active and if you've got to know other people and if you've got some relationships, it's great. Now, I do want to kind of call you out for something in a moment, John, if you don't mind. It's the first time I was ever introduced to you by Christine Tomzik, and it's a video that I saw of yours. But what I will tell everybody watching is that if you know John and I on LinkedIn, we're going to make sure we show you love. Everyone should be there because here's what LinkedIn is. It's the world's biggest and easiest to use networking platform. You can show up every day and meet people. You can show up every day and get people to know what you do professionally or what you're good at. You can show up every day and learn something, and it's completely for free. It's just people showing up to help and support each other and to teach people and to learn from people. So there's no excuse not to. It's free. All it takes is a little bit of your time, and it's really fun, and it really does help people feel a self-worth. When you start to show up and contribute to other people's content and put your own content, and people start to tell you how amazing you are, it does something for your psyche, and it does something for your self-confidence, and it does something for your demeanor. I've got hundreds of people that recommend me on LinkedIn and endorse me for all my skills. It's huge social proof. And the only way to get that is to show up and to do the same thing for others. And so there's a law of reciprocity. But John, I truly hope that this doesn't embarrass you. And I hope, I'm not trying to make any fun, but I'm going to try to recreate to a very small degree the first time I saw you on LinkedIn. I didn't know who you were, and you had just done a video. And you were brand new to LinkedIn. And your video was something like you were talking, and you could tell the moment that you understood what LinkedIn was all about in real time, my brother. On that video, you were talking and you said something like, and again, I'm not trying to make fun, I promise, but you said something like, wait, people from around the whole world can see me right now and hear me. I'm in touch with the whole world. And John, that moment, I'm getting goosebumps right now, seeing you, having grown up in West Africa, realize that the entire world was a push of a button away. And that there were people in Australia and in New Guinea and in France and in the United Arab Emirates and all around the world that you could reach and impact and build upon networking with and build relationships. The moment, I mean, that was so unadulterated. I think you almost cried when the moment that you realized it, and I think everyone that saw that almost cried the moment they saw it too. And I think that's one of the videos I saw. I either shouted you out or shared the video or something. I said everybody in the world needs to see this, because that moment encapsulated how important LinkedIn is. And to anybody that just heard that doesn't understand, please hit rewind and watch that again. That's the importance and the power of LinkedIn. And again, John, you are a brother of mine. I would hop on a plane and I'll go get in a bar fight for you. I'll give you my kidney. I'll give you some of my blood. I love you. You're my brother. I wouldn't even know you if it weren't for LinkedIn, and we wouldn't be able to bridge this ocean and have the friendship and the relationship that we do if it weren't for LinkedIn. So to me, that's how important it is, and everybody really should at least go check it out for themselves and determine if it's for them or not. I can't imagine it's not.
Definitely. Even me, I can't imagine it's not. This is the best place to be. I've met a lot of people since then, and we've done a lot of things. What I'm doing currently, this podcast started from LinkedIn, and you remember how you pushed it, and you kept on reminding me about it until when it came up, and now at least we can host people, and people can watch us and get a lot of good vibes out of it. And this is just how to give back to this community and help people as well to understand how great it is to give that little thing or little energy that you have in us. So it was nice hosting you, Cory. And as usual, this is One Talk Radio podcast. And what we do here is by bringing people together, by sharing our stories. And as much as, we do this, also we remind people that there has never been time for anything. Any time is for anything that you can do. When you wake up in the morning, that is the time. When you are sleeping, that's the time. When you are running, you're driving, that's always the time. So the little seconds or few minutes you get to do something, grab it and do it. I so much appreciate you coming along over, Cory, to discuss with us a lot of things that is about giving, collaboration, and also introducing ShedWool to those who have not heard about it. This is a platform that I think is going to help more so those who are in restaurants and wants to, help them in shifts to help their staffs necessarily. In fact, it is best for the staffs. A lot of staffs are getting problems. Sometimes you want off, and you can't reach the manager, you can't reach so and so. Somebody has to go to the restaurant to start drawing again the schedule to make it, to balance. So when you have ShedWool in your hands, you can do it wherever you are. You can just have a phone call and it's changed. So it's great to have you. I see my sister Stella Da Silva is watching from Oman, and she's saying hi, John and Cory. Hi, Stella.
Hi, Stella.
We love you. I'm here with Cory, and we are discussing some great things here. It was nice having you, Cory. I know it's morning and you are preparing maybe to have some business today. I would love to release you, but only when you allow me to do that, Cory. But as at the same time, when I'm releasing you, you cannot leave us without that parting shot that we need to get today, before we put our heads down to sleep, what is the greatest message that you have for all of us, Cory?
So my greatest message that I have for everyone is twofold. The first is straight out of the Bible, but it's to love one another. Jesus said, I give you one new commandment, to love one another even as I have loved you. And to me, that's the most important thing, is that we all love one another unconditionally, without judgment and without condition. But the second thing that I leave everyone with, and then I have a personal message for you, John, in front of the world. But the other thing that I would tell everybody is to just try. So many people put off trying their new idea. So many people put off, John, so many other John Gores out there didn't do a podcast because they were waiting until they had a better mic. They were waiting until they had a studio. They were waiting until they had this and that and the third. No, there's no time like the present, guys. Start whatever it is that you have in your mind. If you have an idea, and I say guys, but I mean girls also, if you have an idea, go for it. If you want to start a company or an initiative or a collaborative effort, start right now. I always say this, but fail fast, fail forward. Learn from your mistakes. The mistakes literally add up to be the successes. ShedWool will be $1 billion company, and it's because we screwed so many things up so many times, and thank God we're smart enough to learn from all of them. I'll accept the release in a few moments, because although I am working, I've also got some food on the stove. I'm excited. My team will be happy, and if any of my team's watching, they'll be happy to see that Cory Warfield's eating a bite of food in the middle of the day, which is a new thing for me. But I want to go on record, John, and say that I think that you are a game changer. I think that you have a heart of gold. I think that you are powerful. And I know that you are honest. I think that you are incredibly sensitive. I think that you are incredibly talented. I've been watching the show. I've been watching what you're doing. You are still in some infancies in certain regards, but you are a game changer. You own the term motivator. You are the motivator. You motivate me often. I am part of the reason I am who I am anymore is because of you. Meeting you, the day I met you, changed my life as well. And anybody that wants to watch this, if they want to know how I feel about John Gore, you are my brother. You call me El Presidente, I love it, but I always call you my Veep. You're my vice president, John. You know, it's there's a lot of things we're going to do. I'm not certain that you're not going to be a vice president at ShedWool someday, but it's not a joke. If anybody goes through anywhere on the internet, there's one person on this planet I call my vice president, and it's this man right here. So I just wanted to go on record and say that, John, you impact me. You impact me. Big picture, small picture. From the moon and back. I have so much love for you, my brother, and thanks for having me on your show today.
It was great having you, Cory. And as you have said, you're always the president. I'm your VIP, and it will remain like that forever. You know, the first time we met and you introduced me to this, I'm doing it, and I'm doing it with that piece of advice that you left me with, that we can always be the game changers, and we can change the world. Just by saying a word, the world can change into a better thing. So let's do it together, Cory. Have a great day. And pass our regards to the guys at ShedWool, pass our regards to the people preparing your food, and everyone. And, just tell them that we love them. They are our brothers and sisters, Cory. Until we meet again, I know we'll have another platform to share again with our people. And this great kind of pieces of advice that you've given here is going to change someone's life, Cory. Thank you so much, brother.
You're very welcome, brother. And I have LinkedIn Live. Maybe we'll have to do a live one together, you and me, on LinkedIn soon.
Definitely. We've got to do that, Cory, and I'm always ready to do that. And we will have to do that. I can't say no. You know that, right?
Well, you can, but I hope you don't. So
I will not.
I know. Okay, well, everyone, thank you for tuning in. John, thank you for having me. So much love. We'll talk really soon.
All right.